Well, what if we tried something different this time? I like playing the
Okay.
trailers on the show, but it's kind of boring because it's just like the trailer playing. What if we watch the trailer? Maybe we'll make some funny comments,
Sure.
or
Okay.
maybe it'll suck. Whoa.
Holy
When there is crime in society, there is no justice.
Plato.
As a city, we continue to grow.
Whose voice was that?
Citizen riots.
James Earl
Next.
Jones.
Oh,
James Earl Jones.
I mean, it's an ensemble cast.
Court's adjourned.
Judge Dredd, baby.
My finest student. You're under arrest.
What's the charge?
Murder.
Guilty as charged.
Did you hear him say the evidence is falsified?
Yeah. The audio and video are a little off from what I see here, but I get the gist of it.
Oh yeah, you're watching on your.
This is just the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Very fast.
Who says politics is boring?
Damn, dude.
Everyone in the audience cheers.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, how did they pick Rob Schneider for this? I always wondered. I mean, he does good as the comic relief, but it just seems kind of like a weird pick.
He was on
kinda-
SNL.
I got some thoughts about Rob.
He's on
being in this
SNL.
movie.
He's kind of
I would like to
famous.
hear
I mean,
that.
he was
Yeah,
in
he was in
Demolition
SNL,
Man.
okay.
Okay. He was in Demolition Man?
Yeah.
Who was
He brings some good energy to this movie, I would say.
That's
Stallone,
fair. That's a
Judge
fair,
Dredd.
He's
fair
in,
assessment.
you know, this was like his first big role. And this kind of is this was a huge box office bomb. It cost $90
Oh,
million.
Oh no.
It was?
Yes. And it made $38 million. And I kind of feel like this was sort of the last of the really big Sylvester Stallone movies. Like he had a few successes in the early 90s with Demolition Man and Cliffhanger. And then after this one, it's kind of like Daybreak. That was kind of a mess. And then I remember like in the late 90s going to Blockbuster and there's a Sylvester Stallone movie called Detox, straight to video. Or I don't even remember it coming on the theater. And it was like, oh, wow, Stallone has like a straight to video movie. And it's such a weird thing watching his movies because you never know if it's going to be any good or just the worst piece of shit you've ever seen. I mean, the guy really is so talented and it's just,
Yeah.
but most of the time his movies are so bad.
He's so good as Rocky. It's like
Yes.
crazy how good he is as Rocky. He's like one of the best movie characters of all time. And
He
Rambo's
wrote it.
good too.
He
Yeah,
wrote
he wrote it, but
Rocky.
he's also
And
like
won an
his
Oscar for-
performance is so good in the Rocky. I mean,
I got these turtles.
yeah, whenever he's playing a guy that doesn't have brain damage, it's I guess like feels a little
You know what
less
it is?
like it
I
works.
think I realized that when he's trying really hard to be funny, he's really bad.
Is that what he's doing in this movie?
He's trying pretty hard to be funny
I don't
in a lot of
I don't
scenes.
know. It's just tough.
His
tough.
I knew you'd say that line is pretty lame, and he
That-
delivers it extremely
And
lamely.
that opening scene with the block war,
Yeah.
and he's doing his spiel.
Oh
about,
yeah, like the one-liners.
Why are you hiding down there?
That's pretty good, Mike.
I am the law.
Yeah.
And then like
So many fucking judge puns and wordplay and stuff like that.
adjourned.
You're so exhausted from it by the end of the movie. The best,
yeah,
obviously, though, is when Diane Lane gets called a bitch, and then she goes, "Judge, bitch,"
oh yeah.
and then kills.
We're
Gotta
her.
have the
doing-
girl fight.
In case you didn't realize, we're doing Judge Dredd 1995. Directed by Danny Cannon. Written by William Swishers, Michael DeLuca, Stephen E. D'Souza. A lot of writers worked on this movie, apparently.
Costume design by Gianni Versace, and it
Well,
totally shows.
Hell
only the
yeah.
judge's costume.
Okay,
is
well,
awesome.
those are the best costumes in the movie. So
There is like a nice.
They're the gayest costumes in the movie. Also,
yeah.
they're awesome, dude. They're fucking awesome.
this
The
is
gold,
that's
the
your.
cod piece, the eagle and the chain. This shit's
What do you
all
think of the
big
helmet?
and shit. Helmet is sick. Boots are sick. The whole thing. He didn't design like Rico's shit. He like the way Rico had the all black and the leather and then the black with the slick back hair. I thought that was very Versace looking. But you're saying he only designed the armor?
Yeah, in the opening credits, it says costumes by, I believe, Colleen Atwood, and then judge's costume by Gianni Versace.
Oh, I missed that little part.
I've met Colleen Atwood before.
She does all the Tim Burton movies. There's a lot of Batman
Nice.
influence on this movie. Batman was a big
Yeah, this is a
90s
Batman
comic
fucking
book
movie.
Sure, I can see
movie
that.
era. Batman changed a template for comic book movies in that it combined this like film noir, German expressionism, urban, everything's an urban hellscape, and then there's like lots of gunfights and everybody's wearing like bomber jackets. And it's like weird,
Sick.
shitty gangster character.
With just a little touch of gay stuff.
Just because a guy
Got a
looks
little
good
bit of
doesn't
gay.
mean he's gay. Does not mean he's gay. Okay.
Yeah, who's
Oh,
gay
man.
Batman?
Well, like the nipple suit and shit.
Well, that's not in the first one.
That was Batman
Oh,
Forever,
I see what you're saying. I see.
and then Batman and Robin or something.
You calling Jack Palance gay in Batman?
No, hell no, dude. Straightest motherfucker I've ever seen.
You better believe it.
It wasn't gay at all when he started doing push-ups at the Oscars. Gay guys don't like working out or anything and being buff.
He's kind of thin. He's not really buff.
He's probably gay. Let's face it. He's a
Jack
old
Palance. How
Hollywood
dare
actor.
you? How
Mr.
dare you?
Scarface?
How do we know whether or not? I mean, who's that one
Have
actor?
any of us? You mean have any of us personally fucked him in the ass? No, I don't. I don't think so.
Damn. Never too late, Mike.
He's dead.
It's never too late.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Hey,
He's only in like 2 scenes in Batman,
really,
but he makes a hell of an impression.
He pays the Penguin's dad.
he sure does. He sure does. I'm just kidding about the gay
No,
stuff.
he's the
can't-
gangster.
No, Paul Rubens. Pee-wee plays the Penguin's dad.
I
He's
can't
the
remember.
gangster who is in charge of the gang, and Jack Nicholson is like his underling.
And then he like Joker kills him or something like that.
Oh.
Why are we talking about this?
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of cliches in this
Superhero
movie.
movies.
In
He's
Judge
Wilson
Dredd.
from Shane.
Yeah,
Never seen Shane.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Okay. I've seen Logan.
Uh,
Isn't that the same thing?
no.
No.
People say that because there's like a kid.
Oh, they're watching Shane in one part.
Well,
Remember when we did
mediocre.
Remember when we did Logan for the podcast?
Another comic book movie. Now, Judge Dredd, this movie is a mess. And it comes down to a big problem, which is Sylvester Stallone is a control freak. And look, he understands something. He's the big draw for the movie, and so he wanted to be in charge. And he would tell the director what to do, what he didn't like, and then apparently there were massive reshoots, and the director wasn't involved. And the director is a young guy, Danny Cannon. He made a little movie called The Young Americans, which nobody has seen, but I like it because I like the music. And Viggo Mortensen's in
Sounds
that.
cool.
I like Viggo
It's
Mortensen.
It's got some cool techno dance scenes, and Bjork's on the soundtrack. And
All right, that sounds good. David Bowie.
David Bowie's not in it. He has
No,
nothing to do
the
with it,
Young
but
Americans song.
It's about British gangsters who act like young American thugs and shoot guns.
Oh, that sounds funny.
And they're given
That sounds
guns
cool.
by Viggo Mortensen. It's a ridiculous movie. But yeah, apparently Danny Cannon wanted Judge Dredd to be very violent like RoboCop, and Sylvester Stallone wanted it to be PG-13 and funny. His whole
This,
thing was like,
yeah,
I want the movie to be funny.
you got to get Rob Schneider.
That's where he comes in.
And
If
if
you
you
want
notice,
funny,
like,
bring in Rob Schneider.
and like, it's so interesting watching it because, like, why is Rob Schneider in this movie? Like, his character does literally almost nothing. He at the
He's
end
also the first face that you really like see in the movie. You don't
Yeah.
expect
Yes.
after like the opening crawl, saying like talking about how everything is like a dystopia and shit. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna see Sylvester Stallone's face in a second, or somebody else's face. And then you
he
see
plays a
fucking Rob
character
Schneider.
named Fergie, and he's released from prison, and he goes to this place called Heavenly Haven, and it's a cool scene when he's like flying around, looking at the city, and
Yeah, it
there's
just looks like
like
Blade Runner.
it's Blade Runner. There's the Statue of Liberty. There's like rich people, poor people, but he goes to this block.
Why, why is there a Statue of Liberty, by the way? Does that mean it's in New York, or did they like move the
Yes.
Statue of Liberty?
They moved the Statue of Liberty. Adam is correct. They
I
mentioned that in
honestly,
the movie.
oh, they did. Okay, sorry. But because I was thinking like this is pretty like
It
impressive.
could still be New York.
This is like a pretty impressive city. They built all this shit. It's supposed to be this like dystopia, like everything is fucked up and everything like that. But it looks, everything is like super technological. It looks like like China could only pull this off. If we could not like reach this type of dystopia in America, I feel like.
Well, in the
Couldn't
comic
Oh,
build
you
book,
just wait,
structures
buddy.
and stuff. We
So
we
the-
could get things could get really shitty. Actually, things
know.
are worse now than they are in this movie in some ways. But
so in the
Now
comic
you're
book,
thinking.
yeah,
basically, there's only two cities on Earth, and they're on the West Coast and the East Coast of the United States. And basically, the entire like East Coast is one city called Mega City One. So for all the city literally stretches from like New York all the way down to Miami,
oh, that's cool.
Washington D.C. Everything is just one giant overpopulated city. In the middle's the wasteland, and then on the West Coast, the same kind of city thing is happening.
Because why is that like a good solution to the problems
Well,
of the future?
here's the thing. And the movie kind of gets it. It kind of gets it. The comic really is about exploring the world of Judge Dredd. And in every comic of Judge Dredd, because it was in a magazine, and the comics are only like 8 pages long. It's not like this super elaborate Batman kind of comic. It's like a satirical science fiction comic where almost every like story takes place in a different city or a different part of the city with a different gang and a different group of people, and there's like mutants and there's like rat people and there's animal people and there's like all sorts of crazy gangs, robots. Like, just think of the most like the most psychedelic late 70s science fiction comic, and then the very straight, normal, boring, mean, uptight Judge Dredd. So he's like the straight man against this like crazy backdrop. And the comic honestly is more like The Fifth Element. That's more of what the comic feels like. It feels really weird, like really crazy. And the movie kind of gets a little hint of that with the robot and with the cannibals, but I don't think these movies are capable. Like, I don't think either movie has really gotten close to nailing this character, and I don't think a live action movie could do it. I think it'd have to be animated or like a TV show or something.
That's crazy, dude.
It's a very, because I was like watching both of these movies, like, what is the appeal of Judge Dredd? Like, why do people like Judge Dredd?
The costumes, they looks cool. The motorcycle is cool. The guns are fucking sick.
But like
It's
Spider-Man
flashy.
has this Uncle Ben storyline, and he's a young guy, and he's trying to make his way in the way in the world. And then you have Batman. He's getting revenge from his parents. He's dark. He's brooding. Like the
You're saying as a
characters,
character, Judge
like
Dredd.
what is it about this character? And I feel like this one has too much plot, and then I think the new one has too little plot and backstory. But
Damn. When will they get it right? This is a Goldilocks situation. We need a little girl to be watching these and then looking for the third one that's just right.
the other thing that's cool about Judge Dredd as a comic that I realize is that they have lots of writers and lots of artists who did it. And I was thinking like, oh, you kind of need like not an ensemble, but like an anthology. Like you would need lots of different filmmakers making short films to kind of nail
All right, settle down.
Judge Dredd. Well,
What's this? Why is it so special? What's so special about it? It can't just be like a regular fucking movie. Like
well,
Blade Runner is a movie.
Did you see Judge Dredd?
Well, Blade Runner
This
is like
movie's a piece of shit. That's the
I know.
problem.
Oh my
Obviously
God,
it
you guys
is.
are tripping.
It's a colossal failure.
Mike.
Holy
Mike, are you
moly.
retarded?
What do you not like about it? Tell me what you don't like about it.
I think it's an
Stupid.
entertaining movie. It's
Okay,
entertaining with
okay.
how stupid it is.
What the hell else do you want other than entertaining?
Here's the thing I do like
I was
about
on the
this.
edge of my seat, sweating, shaking. I liked it so much. It's like,
You're
man,
sweating and shaking.
I was like, I was surprising myself with how into the movie I was. I'm like,
Mike.
man, I'm really watching this movie. I'm not bored. I'm not thinking I got to go smoke a cigarette or do something on my phone. I'm like, I got to watch this movie right now.
Mike, are you doing meth again?
No, I don't do meth, man. What are you talking about?
I mean, not again.
You see my big chubby face? I don't do meth.
Oh
man.
yeah, that's the perfect alibi.
Yeah.
Point to this. Don't point to that thing.
It's stupid. It's not a good movie.
Oh my God.
Okay, like let me ask you something. The beginning
Okay,
of the movie,
Mike. No, Mike's
Yeah.
right. It is a good movie. Mike, this movie is so good.
Thank you. It's entertaining.
Remember-
It's entertaining. It's fun.
What are normal
and it
people
looks-
supposed to say against
And it
these?
looks cool. What else do you want?
okay,
What
listen,
more
I'll
do you
tell
want?
you. I'll tell
Okay,
you.
go ahead. Yeah, the plot is retarded. It doesn't make any sense.
Block war. What is
Jor-
the point of the block war that these guys are having? They're running around just like shooting
yeah.
guns.
They're bored.
Why are they shooting the rioters? Why are they shooting all the rioters for no reason? I didn't get that either. Why is Georgian Prince Shao so hot for the Janus project? It doesn't make sense. I get that, but it looks
No,
cool
Jurgen
and it's
Prochnow
fun.
has a motivation.
Why is he so hot for the Project Janus? I don't get it. What does he get
I
out
can
of it?
explain. Okay, we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about
Project
the block
Dennis.
war.
Okay.
The opening scene is a block war, and this is my least favorite kind of scene in any comic book action movie. It's the scene where the guys have the guns and they're laughing and they're just shooting at random stupid shit
Yeah.
for no reason. And I hate these scenes. And it's like, just compare it to the opening of Predator 2. Now, Predator 2 is very similar, but at least it's two different gangs having a war, and they're shooting their guns, and they're like firing automatic weapons at each other and laughing, and there's like blood everywhere. In this, we get this like dopey ass scene where these guys are just shooting guns, and there's the lame ass multicultural gang. And James Remar's in it. You're like, oh, well, James Remar is awesome. He's in 48 Hours and The Warriors. He's one of our coolest actors. And he's just a doofus. And then Rob Schneider shows up. He's like, this is my apartment. Oh. And then, okay, so then
Happens every day.
two judges are there, Diane Lane and the new rookie guy. And then Judge Dredd shows up.
Diane Lane's name is Judge Hershey.
Which is a real comic character in the comic.
Okay. Can't blame the movie for that.
So then Judge Dredd shows up and he's doing his funny, pompous thing. And it's like Cobra. Now we're watching Cobra all over again. It's like the supermarket robbery scene. But that scene is better.
What? Okay, yeah.
He drinks
it's
the
a
beer.
little better.
He says, you're the disease. I'm the cure. But it's the same thing. And then like the rookie dies, which is kind of cool because you're like, oh wow, the rookie actually dies in this movie. It's
And
a
I
little
guess
edgy.
what about the armor? What about what happened in the fucking armor?
Okay, the football shoulder pads.
The shoulder pads are
Is
pretty
he
fucking
tackling people?
That's
But when
badass,
when
dude.
he goes to the training school, they have the armor set up on like a mannequin, and he blasts the mannequin like it's full armor. It's not just in those spots. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the
You don't
war
think he's got a
the
bulletproof
block war.
vest?
Everybody's got to calm
Let's
down,
talk-
I think.
Let's
This is
talk about the block war. Okay,
Good energy,
so
good energy. Let's
did
go.
you notice Judge Dredd said
starting to sweat and shake.
he has verbal communication of his gun, and he says armored piercing. Then he shoots a guy who's holding a rifle, and the bullet goes through the rifle, and he's like, ah, and he like dies. But like his whole body was exposed. Why didn't he just shoot him in the
Well,
heart?
duh. Why didn't he just use the automatic on everybody from the start?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's funny. It's fun to do. And I mean, wouldn't talking to your gun not work very well when you need to be like fucking quiet? You know, that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of gonna give your position away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
That's a good
It's
point.
ridiculous.
It's
What I'm
silly.
just saying
It's
is
silly.
there's a lot of potential here, but they're kind of half-assing it, right? Okay. So the block war, and then and Rob Schneider's hiding in the recycled food cart.
We can't go through this movie like
And he has
beat
the
by beat. I'm gonna kill
spaghetti.
myself.
But hold on. The next scene is
Okay.
very important because the next scene is
Okay,
answers your Jurgen Prochnow question.
All right.
Mhm.
They say crime is growing 15% every quarter
Mhm.
and that it's getting out of control. And Jurgen Prochnow goes, we need to lower the threshold for the death penalty.
Mhm.
Because that's why he's hot on the Janus Project, because crime is out of control. He wants to stop crime. So he wants more judges.
Why does he fucking care? Because he's like a good guy and a bad guy at the same time. He's a good guy in that he wants to sew up crime, but he's also a bad guy because he's causing the crime. It's like some sort of double-sided dildo or something.
Yeah.
He believes the only way to
Justice is a
stop
double-sided
crime
thing, if you think about it.
is to have
More crime.
hundreds and hundreds of new judges killing people, killing criminals. He's an authoritarian.
Another stupid thing about this movie,
So that's his motivation.
there's
And
another
that's-
core thing that's really
Okay.
stupid about this movie. And it's that like it's supposed to be this crazy dystopia where cops have licenses to shoot and kill,
No, there's no cops.
or the judges are the cops.
Yes.
So yeah, so it's like a
Judge,
huge
jury, and
deal.
executioner.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically just means a cop that can shoot somebody and get away with it legally. That's fucking what is real life already. And they're acting like it's so dramatic and such like a big deal. And when some guy shoots a person, and it's like so it's supposed to be this movie about a dystopia.
It's not a
Better-
dystopia.
Oh, so what you're saying is you respect the social commentary in this movie because it's extremely relevant even today. Yes,
No, I'm saying
agree
they're
with you.
acting like it's supposed to be like a worse thing that we're supposed to be like shocked by.
You're not. That's because you're
That's the other way
misunderstanding.
around. Yeah.
You're misunderstanding. it.
Misunderstanding Judge Dredd.
Yeah, because if you
Oh no.
read the comic like someone, you would know Judge Dredd is an exaggerated story of modern day America.
Yeah, I get that. I got
Oh,
that.
so you're just saying that the movie though treats it very dramatically and very
Well, that's the problem.
heavily.
The
It's a
movie
fucking
doesn't.
movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about the movie.
The movie doesn't understand the comic, and the movie doesn't understand the satire. The movie should be more like RoboCop.
Well, yeah, but then they can't just make
But they
another
are-
RoboCop. It would be.
But
It would be
the
too.
And they're trying to
satire-
make it like RoboCop though.
Yeah.
But they're also-
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
They're trying to have this satirical thing, but they're also doing this like dopey, like this corny Cobra thing where it's like, no, this is like what cops. This is just an action movie. Like, don't think about it too hard. Like, basically, I don't think Stallone gets comedy or satire or messaging or any. I think he gets character, and he should just focus on his fucking character, and they should let someone else handle the vision
First
of the
blood
movie.
though. First blood is
What about Stop or Mom Will Shoot? I remember that being.
Yeah.
I remember that
or
being very
stop or
funny
my
when I
mom will
saw
shoot.
it. I
You
remember being
remember?
very funny.
Do you
That's
know
what
the
I meant, not
story
first
of that
blood.
movie?
He's
Stop
like a
or My Mom Will
cop,
Shoot.
and his mom starts working with
Sure, sure,
him or
but like
something.
the story of how it got made.
Oh no, no,
So
I don't know.
apparently, Schwarzenegger read the script and was like, "This is the worst movie I've ever read in my life." And then he did this like prank where he acted like he was very interested in doing the movie, and then Stallone's agents heard, and
He
then
sold
Stallone
him
was like, I gotta be in that movie. Fuck Arnold, I'm gonna show him because they were
tight.
rivals, and then Stallone signed up to do the movie, and then it was like a massive failure.
Classic.
The
Aren't they
guy who
like
wrote that screenplay became a big screenwriting guru and has ruined movies ever
who?
since. I
Nice.
think did he write Invisible Ink or Save the Cat? He wrote one of those
The guy
awful
who wrote
books.
Blank Check wrote Save the Cat.
I believe he wrote Stop or
Which
My
is a
Mom Will Shoot.
which that movie's fucking good, dude. Um, but hey.
I remember it being good.
When you were a child.
Yes, as a child, yes, I remember it being good.
This movie, Judge Dredd probably goes pretty hard if you're 11.
Oh, dude, it went so hard I was
Yeah, dude.
11.
This is
The video
badass, dude.
games, looking for the Halloween costumes. I mean, I probably
Did
had
you
the
dress up like
toys.
Judge Dredd?
I never did, but I remember like looking through costumes to try to do it, but I don't believe I ever did.
I'd like you to see you in a Judge Dredd costume right now.
Yeah, with the cod piece, the
So, like,
chain.
yeah, you now. I'd like to see you in the Judge Dredd costume.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I would like to show you my body in a Judge Dredd costume.
Thank you.
Well, and that's where it got cut off. You see, people, my hard drive stopped recording the episode, and an hour of the three of us talking Judge Dredd was never recorded. And we did such great bits. We did a bit. What if instead of the Janus Project, the Janus Project, what if it was the Anus Project? And Rico raped the clones.
Made babies
so.
in their ass.
Oh, man. It was great. Adam said stupid shit. I can't remember. He said he really liked Rob Schneider. He thought Rob Schneider was excellent in the movie. I complained about that. I called him stupid. We gave our ratings, and we had a furious debate over our ratings.
We definitely differed over what we rated this movie.
Adam's not here. Adam's on his way to Hawaii for his annual Hawaiian luau. Just us talking Judge Dredd. Part 2. Well, I fixed the hard drive thing, so this won't happen again.
Nice. What was wrong?
I rated 4 M.2 drives, which we using a software RAID. And sometimes it gets overwhelmed and crashes and stops writing files.
That's heavy.
Yeah. But now we got it on a different drive. It shouldn't happen. It's hard. It's like the magic's gone. It's like I don't know what to say.
Well, where did we stop? Where did we end? And what part of the movie? Where did it get cut off?
You were talking about how much you like the costume
Oh, that was way early. Jeez.
and how much you wanted to dress up like Judge Dredd.
Yes, mainly the cod piece.
We talked about everything. We talked about Rico killing the cops. We talked about Judge Dredd in the Wasteland. We talked about how stupid it was that Max von Sydow voluntarily went on a walk in the desert to save Judge Dredd's life during his trial. We talked about how stupid it was that they didn't know about the DNA evidence and Rico and the gun. The journalist getting killed. Rob Schneider on the flying car or motorcycle.
That thing with the how the gun imprints the DNA onto every bullet. There was actually a bill in California many years ago that they were going to try to make it so every gun had to imprint the serial number of the gun every time it fired a bullet. So every casing would have the serial number from the gun on it.
From the
But
hammer?
yeah. But that never passed. And they don't really need to do that. They can just match how the hammer looks when it hits the casing, and or the way the bullet gets markings on it from going through the barrel. So not really necessary. They can already link a bullet to a gun without having this stamping system.
Plus, there's powder on your hand, right?
Yeah, gunshot residue, right?
I guess Judge Dredd would have lots of powder on his hand, so it would be possible for him to shoot that journalist guy.
It's very possible, very possible. Although they were using caseless ammo, so I don't even know what they're using to propel. I don't even know what they're using to propel the bullets.
We talked about how stupid Rico's prison cell was and how it's just a copy of, or it's the exact same thing as Magneto. And this happens in a lot of movies where the guy is in prison, he gets out of prison. One thing I did do since the recording of that episode is I watched some of Tank Girl that's also from 1995. And like the mid 90s, before X-Men and Spider-Man, when they made comic book movies, they would make like the obscure comic book movies. They would make Tank Girl, The Mask, The Crow, and they would make these like vigilante kind of movies, or movies with like comic book movies with about like gunfights, barbed
Phantoms.
wire. What's that?
Phantoms. Isn't that a comic book movie?
No.
Oh,
You mean The Phantom?
The Phantom. Okay.
Is that a comic book? I thought that was a radio character, kind of like the Shadow, but it could have been a comic book guy.
Well, the
He's
Shadow
definitely-
was also a comic book, right? It was
They're
about the radio.
they were radio characters.
Yeah, but I thought the Shadow specifically also had a comic book in addition to being a radio show, but I could be mistaken. Maybe it came after the radio show or whatever.
That's sort of the earlier wave, the Batman wave, the Rocketeer wave. But yeah, superhero movies, huh? They're a big business.
Yeah. People at work are freaking out about the new Avengers or Fantastic Four or something. One of those. They're all excited about it.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that must be it.
I've never seen a Fantastic Four movie.
Huh. Yeah, me neither. I saw the Avengers, one of the Avengers, but I haven't seen Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm not really. I was not a Marvel guy when I was growing up. I was a Dark Horse comics guy.
I didn't read.
Oh,
I didn't really read any comics. Oh, Mad Magazine, Cracked and Mad Magazine. I read those.
my favorite comic as a kid was The Mask. I read it front to back every day at school. I loved it. I would bring it in my backpack every day. And then when I found out Jim Carrey was going to be in the movie, it was like, are you fucking kidding me? Jim Carrey's going to be in The Mask. And even though it's different than the comic, I still loved it because I was a dumb little kid.
Well, he does a great job. The man's an amazing physical comic.
Yes, he is. Now, I mean, we got to talk about I don't think we recorded or we lost a recording of talking about Rico, Amon Desante.
Best part of the movie.
I feel he should have played Judge Dredd.
But then who would you have cast as Rico?
Armand Desante. No,
Do like a twins movie? That might have worked where they're both Armand Desante.
And he has a mustache.
Yeah, sure. Something like that. That would have worked. And that would have been sick.
Yes, it would have double Amon Imagine a movie they're like, our new comic book movie stars Amon Desante in 2 roles.
That would have been fucking badass.
Well, they said Stallone, I think we talked about this. I can't remember if it's recorded, but Stallone kept changing the fucking movie. Armand Desante wouldn't do that. He's a pro.
Right.
And you know who they should have got? You know who would have directed Judge Dredd and made a really good movie?
Who?
Stanley Kubrick.
Well, yeah.
If you gave Stanley Kubrick the biggest movie budget of all time in 1995, he would have crushed Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd was the most expensive movie at the time.
No, I'm saying if you gave Stanley Kubrick the biggest
Oh,
budget,
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Armand Assante in two roles,
That would have been awesome. It would have been
it
like that movie with Nicolas Cage where he plays two people.
adaptation.
The Flower movie or the
Yeah,
Jean Claude Van Damme movie. There's two of them. No.
yeah, and I just watched that.
Double
He's
Impact.
Yeah, and he has a French accent, even though one twin grew up in America and one grew up in Hong Kong, or maybe one grew up in Belgium. It was a laugh riot. I went semi-viral because I posted his butt,
Nice.
and a famous gay filmmaker retweeted me named Bruce LaBruce.
What movies has he made?
He directs like gay porn or something.
Right. All right.
Like underground gay porn. Bruce LaBruce.
What the hell is underground gay porn? It's what are they? What is the secret stuff they're doing? Just not mainstream. Just not your reality kings, your Bang Bus. His own like independent gay porn. Is that what we're talking about? Art
Yeah,
house porn.
like New York City, baby.
Okay.
Oh, here. Okay, here's one. It's just a guy sucking another guy's cock.
Awesome. Who doesn't love that?
Ubermensch. So, you know, did we talk about the guns?
No, we've kind of brushed over it. I mean, and as you mentioned, they're all fake guns. But I did think it was cool that the Lawgiver 2 that they had is built over a Beretta 92 FS. Pretty cool gun. The only difference I saw from the comic book is apparently in a comic book he uses a bunch of different Lawgivers throughout the time. This Lawgiver 2 is modeled after the Lawgiver MK2, except in the comic book, it's a bullpup design where the receiver is behind the magazine, so it looked a little bit more comic-y. I think the one in the movie looks more badass. What I read about it is it's a 92 FS basically with polymer plastic over it, and then with lights that are controlled by some sort of like prop dude or something. He would control the lights as Stallone was using the gun. And
I said the best gun was the gun Rico gets in prison, which he uses to kill the warden.
Yes, that is the most unique gun for sure.
I love guns that unfold. There's a gun in Ghost in the Shell, the animated movie, that's a briefcase that unfolds. And then there's a cool gun in RoboCop 2 that the little kid uses that unfolds and he shoots police officers with.
Mm-hmm.
These are some of my favorite guns. I love a transforming gun, like a toy.
Yes. So fucking Jurgen Prochnow sends Rico the gun and a picture of the reporter because he wants him to murk the reporter so the reporter doesn't write about that they're crooked, that there's a lot of crookedness going on with the police. That's the whole idea there.
And how does Rico get back to Mega City 1?
Good point. Did they show that?
He's in a body bag.
Oh yeah.
From Aspen. So what? They mail their dead bodies to Mega City 1,
and he just stayed perfectly still and didn't breathe for that entire trip.
Yeah. Come on. You want fear? I'm fear. You want chaos? I'm chaos. You want a new beginning? I'm a new beginning.
Oh, did we pass over the part where we talked about that cool bodyguard robot he had?
ABC Warrior.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. And how that was a practical effect. We didn't have CGI at that point yet.
Well, they had CGI. They just didn't have. It was rare to have CGI characters. What they used, right. And this movie, the CGI they use a lot of miniatures and digital compositing. This was like the beginnings of scanning the film, putting in the computer, and then putting the shots together digitally. And if you look at this movie, you'll see like all these digital shots, they get very low res. Yeah. They get very grainy because they didn't have great, they couldn't do high res 4K scans. So it's kind of pixelated.
I would imagine like the scene where they're racing around on the flying motorcycles. That probably had a lot of that.
Yeah. So what they would do is they put them on a Stallone and Rob Schneider, they put them on a motorcycle. What do they call it? A law master, a law
Yeah,
cycle,
something like that. Lawmaster, I think.
a law sucker. And they put
Yeah.
them, they put them on the motorcycle. They have blue screen behind them. And then they would take a camera and they would, believe they built a miniature city. And then
Uh-huh.
they would put the camera going through the miniature city and they combined the plates together.
Huh. That's pretty
It
cool.
was, it, see, the technology allowed them to have, uh, they got rid of that blue line that you would get on 80s blue screen work.
Right.
So what they used to do at ILM, and ILM was the best at this, and everybody else would do the same thing, but it would look way shittier. They would shoot film, then they would cr- literally hand draw black and white outlines of the film to
Okay.
cut out the characters, expose, like, then they would do a thing where they would like expose the background and expose the foreground on a new piece of film and combine the film, and it would just like, because everything was done with cameras and film, you're basically you're putting a camera lens on a film strip, and it would, you would photograph the grain, and things would shake and things were messy, and they did great work on like Empire Strikes Back and even like uh Howard the Duck. But most of the time it looked like shit. Most of the time you could tell like, oh, it's just two shots put together and it's all like, it's all grainy, it's all shaky. There's extra noise. Even when they would do like title sequences and they would just put text over film,
Uh-huh.
they would fuck up the shot. And even when they did something like really simple of like fading one shot into the next, like a soft fade cut, if you look at like a 40s movie, the shot will look clean. Then all of a sudden it'll get extra grainy because it's technically a special effects shot, and then it fades from one to the next. And then the new shot comes on. It was like, it was so brute force. But anyway, this is the beginning of the computer era, and visual effects grew so fast and quick in the 90s.
You're talking about the difference between analog and digital, basically, right? I mean, the film thing you're talking about would be mechanical, and what we're doing now is digital, computer wise.
Yeah, analog, chemical,
Sure, sure.
optical. It was hard as hell. And they made like, they did, some movies are amazing. I mean, Roger Rabbit has amazing effects work, all optically done, just a giant pain in the ass. I don't know how that, I mean, I can't imagine how they did it. I can't believe how good Roger Rabbit is when I watch it.
I haven't seen it for a long time.
I mean, the camera's always moving, things are always happening. It's fucking amazing. But Judge Dredd, that's part of the reason why this movie cost so much money. All this technology was so new. This movie cost 90 million,
Jesus.
made
That's
35.
hell of money in 95. Jesus Christ.
Just a huge bomb.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I liked it so much. I thought it was popular.
You know, still
It was probably big on video, right? And they probably did a lot of good rental
sure.
numbers. Yeah.
And like Stallone, you know, like you probably like, okay, guys, what's the box office? And they're like, hey, you made $10 million this weekend. He's like, oh boy. But people like it, right? They're gonna come back next week? No. It's just gonna trickle and fade off.
International market wasn't big back then, I guess. This is
Well,
going to be
the movie actually made more money internationally than in the
Oh,
United States.
okay.
Because internationally, they're like, oh, yeah, Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
Cool, but he wear a motorcycle helmet. Cool. I love action. This is good movie. Oh, Sylvester Stallone. He cool. You know, these are indeterminate races.
Sure, sure. That one sounded a little Asian, but yeah, I get it.
Misa Sylvester Stallone. We love you long time. This is amazing comedy we're doing. Off the cuff, improvised. Full Metal Jacket reference? Dude, Kubrick shooting Stallone. I would have loved to see that because Kubrick doesn't suffer fools. He would have made Stallone, you know, get it right.
And to his will.
Hell yeah. Rob Schneider. Imagine making Rob Schneider do 100 takes.
I bet he would cut Rob Schneider, to be honest. But yeah, maybe he could run him ragged.
Or maybe maybe he would have cast a bigger star like Mr. Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Rico.
Rico. It's hard to do with Tom Cruise. What's he on? Coke? He's gacked out.
You think so? He's a Scientologist. I thought they got to be like all types of clean and shit.
Yeah, they got to be clean. They can't. They're not allowed to do drugs. You know why?
I would imagine. Why?
They have to check in at the Scientology Center every single day.
Holy Jesus.
So that's makes you busy. But hey, you know, good results. The man is a superstar. You know, what else can we say about Judge Dredd? I mean, we got Max von Sydow has a booger. I posted that on Twitter. The Wasteland, the makeup. We got to talk about the makeup in the Wasteland. That one guy with one arm and the claw, makeup by Chris Cunningham, who did all the AFX Twin videos.
His upper chest area just looks so fucking gross. Ugh. The skin hanging off the metal. I mean, it looks really good. It's so good that it makes me kind of, it looks gross to me.
Chris Cunningham was rumored for a while to do the Rand Xerox movie.
What's that?
Okay, so Rand Xerox he kind of looks like that character. It's a European comic about a cyborg.
Nice. Oh, he looks like the guy with
the Wasteland character.
Yeah.
And it's this. He's like a cyborg, and then his girlfriend's like 12 years old or something. It's French, so in France they think that's really funny. They're like, oh, he's a molester. But anyway, Rand Xerox. The name is RAN, and then like the company name Xerox, and then he got sued, and so now they changed his name to Ranks.
Okay. That looks like a fucking penis.
I'm sure it would have been a crazy ass movie if they made it. I would love for them. It's like, can't you make like a Netflix 35-minute long Rand Xerox movie? Hook me up, bro. But yeah, I love this kind of European
trash
comic shit. Great art. Good. It's cool. You know, it's way better than these American comics. I can't read Marvel. I remember the first time I got an X-Men comic. It was like number 200 or I had no idea what was going on. And I was too poor to buy more comics. I was 8 years old. I just was confused. I just couldn't afford to get into it.
Yeah, my best friend, one of our best friends when we were kids was really, really into comics. And he always tried to give me comics or get me started on comics. And it just didn't take.
Superhero comics are really confusing and
boring. I don't think superheroes are cool.
Nothing happens. They're really cheap. And I mean, like individual issues, it's a lot of setup. It's maybe like one or two fight scenes and then it's over. And it's tons
good
of
guy,
ads.
Bad guy, blah, 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 blah.
Or maybe the good guy is possessed or the bad guy is possessed. It's like Judge Dredd shit. They're setting each other up to getting tricked.
Betrayal.
You know, Judge Dredd in this movie, he gets wrongly convicted, and he has to set the story straight.
It really does some social commentary on the justice system. It's very interesting. I think it's really funny how short the sentences they get given. Like the one for having an assault rifle, 5 years. That's 10 to 20 years easily. If you have an illegal firearm and you discharge it, you ain't getting 5 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like the movie is so dumb in that it's like what it's trying to do too many different things. It's like it's trying to be funny, it's trying to be action, it's trying to be science fiction, it's trying to be satire, it's trying to be all these different things, but everything is just kind of like is like milk toast and mid. It's like
Yeah.
it needs to just pick one fucking direction and just really double down on it. But this was the 90s. This was the era of they were tampering down. Did you
Big
ever see
budget
last
action movies.
remember Last Action Hero?
Yeah. Yeah. The guy with the one eye. And yeah, not Stallone, but Schwarzenegger, the governor.
It's like PG-13 comedy. I mean, maybe it was R. I don't know, but it was like it wasn't as violent as RoboCop. It's like as these movies started costing more money, they started getting shittier.
I guess they couldn't be as risky, right? Because they gotta make that money back.
Correct. And parents were complaining a lot. Remember in the 90s, like,
The
oh, this
parental
movie
warnings on rap albums, all that type of stuff.
natural. It's like, oh my God, have you heard of Natural Born Killers? This is controversial. And they would like try to like ban movies and ban video games.
Yes, I
The
remember that.
the Senate hearings. It's like, what the I'm so happy we don't even it's like we don't have that now, but but it still pops up like right-wing people will go crazy. And also left-wing people go kind of crazy, but it's like online noise. Everything is available, you know.
Right, right. Very little
It's
censorship, thank God.
so there's an interview with one of the writers of Judge Dredd, Stephen E. D'Souza, on YouTube. You can watch it where he talks about how he tried to write a PG-13 movie, but the director tried to make an R-rated movie, and he said that scene when they killed the journalist got shot him and his wife in slow motion by Rico,
And
and
that would
that
have given it an R rating.
they I keep if you go on IMDb, they said no, the movie is R-rated. There's all these there's all these rumors like, oh yeah, the movie was NC-17. It was so violent. But
Dredd? Judge Dredd?
and they had to cut all the killings. Now, the killing of the warden in the prison,
Uh,
that's pretty violent. He gets
sure,
shot.
sure.
He gets shot a lot and he falls down. And I think more kills are like that. And then they cut a scene where at the end all the clones broke out and Judge Dredd had to fight them and shoot them.
That
But
probably looks
in
shitty though.
yeah, I mean probably just him firing a gun and then them like falling down. And then at the big finale, he throws Rico off the Statue of Liberty. That's just like Die Hard. That was a big thing in the
Cliched.
90s. Throw a guy off a cliff or a building. You know, The Rock, Hunt for Red, or Hand the Rocks to Cradle. All
Cable
these
guy.
movies. Cable Guy. The Crow, he gets
Hmm.
thrown off a cliff or a church. So it's like on one hand, I like all the visual effects in Judge Dredd. I think it actually does a better job than the newer one of presenting this like world. But I don't like Stallone in the movie, and I really don't like Rob Schneider.
Yeah, he's annoying. Even more
So
annoying now that he's some right wing psycho. Jesus Christ.
he's an independent thinker.
Yeah.
He's not affiliated with any political party.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
centrist. Even better. Even less
He,
annoying.
he just agrees with every single thing the conservatives do.
Yeah.
But he's centrist.
We know someone like that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know this, but the left went crazy. The left went crazy. You
Yeah,
know,
my God.
they censor you. It's like they don't believe in free speech.
Right. Yeah, yeah. They're the ones doing that, not the Christian right.
I mean, we have to have the most offensive movie podcast, right?
I hope so. We should probably swear more. Be
I
be
mean,
more racist.
be more homophobic.
Sure, sure.
Hmm.
We just talked.
Stallone.
We talked about that gay director. I'm happy with what he's doing.
Which one? The fake one from Hunger?
No, the one you just talked about, where you saw one of his videos of a guy sucking a dick.
Bruce LaBruce? Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
Bruce
Fan of the
LaBruce. I
pod.
like him. He sounds cool.
He retweeted us.
Yeah,
Hey, it's all as long as it's nasty, it's good. That's what
nastier the
I say.
better.
So we gave our ratings. It didn't get recorded, but Adam gave the movie 1.5 stars. I gave the
Oh
movie
my God.
2 stars.
4.75 minimum. It's action packed, it's exciting, it's fun to watch. Everything looks cool. The Versace costumes are so sick. I mean, his those shoulder pads with the eagle and the chain. I mean, that shit is awesome. I'd wear that in a second. Like I said, I remember trying to find a costume as a kid. I don't think I was ever actually Judge Dredd. I may have been a little too old, but
Let me ask you a question.
yes.
What about RoboCop?
I don't want to sound like a pussy, but I think when I was a kid, RoboCop was just too violent for me. I didn't really get into it too much. I think from RoboCop, what I remember liking was in the second one, that stupid big ass robot with the killer inside of it. I remember thinking that was super cool. But like the first RoboCop, gross ass scenes. The guy gets the toxic acid poured on him. That really wasn't for me at the time.
It's
Not even
another
really now, too.
Future Justice. There's so
Yeah.
many great Future Justice movies. RoboCop, Time Cop, Virtuosity, No Escape, Alien 3. That's the future. Jail in the
Minority
future.
Report.
Minority
I like it.
Report. Yeah, it's okay. It's good. I don't like PG-13. I like shitty R-rated 90s movies.
Yeah, I understand.
I complain about all the shit in the 90s and I still prefer it.
It's grittier. I get it.
You know?
You could do more cool stuff back then.
Who wants to see really good directing and really thoughtful ideas in Minority Report based on a Philip K. Dick novel when you could watch Time Cop about a time they got time travel. You're gonna need a cop to take care of it. I mean, if Time Cop was real, Elon Musk would have fucking fired all the time cops. You know what I mean?
Well, in a way, we kind of have time cops now with the DNA evidence and how they're like tracking DNA evidence and solving a crime that's 15 years old. That's kind of like being a future cop in my mind. Going back and arresting people for past crimes that they couldn't solve before. That's almost being like a futuristic cop.
That's just being a cop.
Ah, well, it's very cool and techness to use 23andMe to find someone's DNA, like the Golden State Killer and all that shit. 30 years later. Yeah, why is there no statute of limitations on murder? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. I mean, you get over it.
What should it be?
Maybe 20 years. Everyone's over it by then.
I'd like to hear the moral argument.
I'm trying to think of one. But I think everything should have a statute of limitations. I mean, after a while, you just get away with it. We already got justice system overloaded. We don't need to put more people in there.
I think it's because killers they feel might kill again.
Well, yeah, of course.
So it is interesting they have a statute of limitations on rape.
Which is what, 15 years? So then murder maybe 25.
But like rapists obviously rape again. I mean sexual assault, like people who commit sexual assault definitely are repeat offenders.
Sure.
Way more than murderers, I would say.
An extremely tiny percent of rapes get prosecuted or solved. It's ridiculous. It's just hard. It's hard to prove. And the victims are rightfully scared and all that other stuff. I understand.
What about Judge Dredd?
What about it? What's going to be what's the penalty for rape in
we never saw him deal with any of these nuanced questions.
Well, he specifically
said,
doesn't have nuance. He says that several times. He's very black and white. He judged his own brother, for God's sakes.
I wonder if we talked about how he was a virgin and an incel, just like the Elephant Man.
Well, yeah. Well, you mentioned that he's a volcel, not an incel, which is a very important distinction.
Yeah, that's on the. I would have loved for that kind of stuff to be explored more. If we're repeating this stuff again, it's because I didn't listen to what we have. I just skipped around. I would have loved to have seen him deal with more of that shit. You know, I just don't. The thing about this movie is, I appreciate how it looks, but for me personally, what I like about a movie is point of view, attitude, how far can they take it? That's why I love RoboCop. Like when you go like, oh, it's too violent, it's too gross, it's too nasty, it's too in your face. Like for me, Paul Verhoeven is like the North Star of these kind of movies. Like he's the target. He's the perfect. He makes the perfect specimens that everything else is judged against. Like you say, like Minority Report. Well, another movie based on a Philip K. Dick novel is Total Recall. I go like, well, what do I like more, Minority Report or Total Recall? I like Total Recall more.
Sure. No, I understand the allure of the extremes. I just have a weak ass stomach. You know this.
Do would I rather see Colin Farrell or some no-name actress with 3 tits?
No-name actress with 3 tits, definitely.
A midget with an Uzi on a table firing. Mutants.
Quaid.
Quato.
No, he's Quaid. Yeah.
You know. Was he dreaming at the end of the movie? Was it real?
I don't think if you get put onto Mars and your eyeballs pop out of your head, I don't think they come back in once you get back inside.
You get oxygen.
Yeah.
They terraformed the planet. I love how they were about to terraform the planet, but they just never did it. They built everything and they had it ready, but the aliens never did it.
I guess not. It's a class thing.
Now we talked about on Conan how that score for Total Recall is the same. The Total Recall score is just a ripoff of the Conan, the Barbarian score.
I don't remember saying that, but I'll have to check that out.
It's like if you listen to them back to back, it's quite shocking.
Huh.
And I like the Total Recall score. But man, that's pretty shameless. That shit happened, so.
What a ripoff.
Ooh, that grinds my gears. Total Recall, now that's a good fucking movie.
So is Conan.
I know, and you're putting Judge Dredd with those movies?
Yes, I am. Judge Dredd has way more action than Conan. Looks cooler. what you said before was that you liked everything about Judge Dredd except for the screenplay, and that's such a minute thing. The screenplay is not important. What's important is the cool uniforms, the action. That's what's cool. That's what matters.
I blame everything on Stallone. I just think he's a pompous, controlling douche when it comes to these movies. I think he doesn't value characters. He looks at the character like, fuck the character, I'm the character. People don't see the movie because they like Judge Dredd. This comic's not famous in America. And he's kind of right. Like, people want to see this movie because of me, Sylvester Stallone. But fuck, man. Like, Rocky is such a good script and he wrote it.
Yeah. Adam mentioned that one too. We were talking about.
He won an Oscar, or he was nominated at least, but that's an amazing screenplay.
I think he did some pretty good acting in Copland. That was really good, convincing.
Could I get you down to a 3.25?
Absolutely not. It's, I mean, five being a perfect movie. There's nothing I don't like about this movie. I enjoyed every minute of it. I thought it was riveting. I was surprised at how locked in I got. I put it on in the background, just kind of like doing dishes and stuff around the house. But 15 minutes in, I was on the couch and just locked in for sure.
You like the scene with the Lamborghini getting blown up,
Sure, I thought that guy was funny. Terrible actor, but he was hella funny.
listening to Rob Zombie?
Yeah, with those little thin ass sunglasses, which they always have in futuristic movies for some reason.
We should talk about what's the coolest future in a movie. Back to the Future 2, I think, is like one of the
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner. It's really, I mean, that's the thing. Blade Runner, that's a 5-star.
Philip K. Dick fucking rules. I mean, I'm sure we've gone over that. I mean, what is it? Blade Runner's a banger. Scanner Darkly's a banger. I mean, come on. And Scanner Darkly, the book is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I never read it.
Oh, you should, dude. It's really good. It's really good.
What about
William Gibson?
The future in Tank Girl is not very believable.
No, I don't like the sand shower. I don't like that. I'm not trying to take a shower with sand.
Now, I would take Sylvester Stallone playing Judge Dredd far, far more than Lori Petty as Tank Girl. I mean, that has to be one of the most abrasive, obnoxious performances in any comic book movie.
But like it's bad?
She's terrible in Tank
Oh,
Girl.
really?
She's so annoying.
I remember we used to watch it all the time as kids, but I don't remember.
She's so annoying. Like, that's a movie where I like the style and the design, but then once I saw the movie, then I got the comic, and it was like, well, fuck the movie. The comics are way better.
Sure.
And then the guy who made the comic for that, he ended up being the visual designer, animator, character designer for all the gorillas. And he it's like his style is so awesome, his way of drawing. But god damn, that movie sucks.
Ice-T was cool in it, I remember.
The kangaroo guys are cool. There's a scene in Tank Girl where she does a 1920s cabaret or like Rockettes dance. That's so fucking bad. God, that sucks. They would do this a lot with these comic books. They were very hard, violent, funny, mean, nihilistic comics. Like The Mask is like really graphically violent.
Right.
And then they turn into these sweet, corny PG-13 movies.
There's a couple shootouts, but yeah, nobody like dying or anything bloody. Maybe not a couple. There was just that one shootout.
The Crow is a much better comic, I believe.
I like that movie, but I never read the comic.
But the movie has awesome action scenes. That scene of him in the warehouse shooting the guns is pretty awesome. And now it's like compared to new comic book movies, I mean, those movies are way edgier. Like even Tank Girl, even though it's terrible, it's still way edgier than new comic book movies. I can't even remember the last time. You know what it was? The last big edgy comic book movie I can think of was like Watchmen,
Right. Yeah, that was really good. The
and it had
comedian
like
is fucking awesome.
had nudity. Doctor Manhattan was nude. You saw his penis,
Beautiful blue cock.
just like the comic book. But yeah, it's like I mean, like the movies. It's like I said, the more they cost, the shittier they get.
Well, they're perfecting what you're saying is making a PG-13 comic book movie. That's what they probably figured out these R ones just aren't doing so good. So let's bump it down to PG-13, pull some kids in and see what happens.
We're very lucky that video games are violent, like, and completely nihilistic. Video games are so fucking cool compared to movies.
Yeah, I hear that. Should we give out our gamer tags if anyone wants to play with us?
You play on Xbox, right?
Yes, I do. Commie Hater, COMMIHATER. If you want to play with me, play Warzone.
I don't even know what my PSN name is. PSN. Let me just double check. I'm always changing my fucking username. What's your main game? Warzone?
Yeah, I play Warzone. This weekend they got a free play for Black Ops 6, and I just tried it. I'm not really into it. I rather play Warzone. I like playing free games. I mainly only play free games. I think the last game I bought was Battlefield 1. But yeah, I like first person shooters mainly is what I play.
Okay, so my username on PSN is a Bringing Out the Dead reference.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
Okay, so this is very obscure. Mike and I used to say this all the time. Nobody else really knows what the hell this reference is, but it's from Bringing Out the Dead. It's the name of the ambulance. All one word, no space, fully typed out. 66 X-ray. So that's X. 66 X-ray. We like our coffee bloody.
I have tried to kill him many a times.
In that name, there are 3 X's. 66 X-ray, one word, no spaces. If you listen this far, you get to be our friends online and stalk us and annoy us, play with us. I think the next movie we're doing is got to be Virtuosity. I really want to do Virtuosity. It's like the perfect movie for our show.
Yeah, I'm totally down. I love that movie.
It's short, it's quick, it's dumb, it's violent. It's
Denzel
funny.
is the good guy, right?
Denzel's the good cop.
Yeah. I love Denzel.
Early Russell Crowe American role as Sid 6.7 AI gone amok.
The perfect criminal. He's like Rico.
It's like the Lawnmower Man. It's the same director as the Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like Rico. What is with these psycho guys?
I don't know.
Dirty Harry? Dirty Harry, the villain. We really have to do Dirty Harry because Dirty Harry is like the key for all of these cop movies. The Scorpio in Dirty Harry, the like fake ass Zodiac killer kind of guy.
Yeah, the laughy guy.
You know, he toys with the cop. Him and the cop are the same. You know, they got like the cop is kind of a psycho. That formula just got repeated over and over again.
Magnum Force is cool where they made the cops bad guys. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, some people say Magnum Force is better than Dirty Harry. Magnum Force is really good. That's kind of is it kind of like the conspiracy thing? I mean, that's kind of like Judge Dredd. And we talked about this and it got lost, but Demolition Man and Judge Dredd have like the same plot.
Even like where they kept, remember in Demolition Man, they had all of them frozen in ice. I mean, that lab is just almost exactly the same as the lab in Judge Dredd.
And it's
Reminds me
like
the same.
and then the crime spree is how they get control.
Yeah, they clamp down on stuff.
So
Dennis Leary is much better than Rob Schneider, though. I'll give him that.
yeah, I don't like Virtuosity. I'm excited to rewatch it because I remember it, but I don't exactly remember it.
Of course, all I
Like,
remember is that sweet purple suit he had. That double-breasted purple suit looked really awesome on him.
and like, why doesn't Denzel Washington go to jail and they get like they take him out of jail to find him or something? It's fucking
Another one of those type of things. I
it's
just remember when
trashy.
he connects the thing into his arm, the robotic arm. That's all I remember.
It's trashy good fun. All right,
Yes.
later.
Later, man.